So I did a list of the 5 things I hate about my car. Now it's time I do a list of the 5 things I like about my car. 2015 base WRX. I try to keep it shorter than the last video. That one went like 10 minutes. So here we go. Number 1, first thing. Oh, and they're in no order. Number 1 is not better than number 5. They're just 5 things I like. So number 1, the color of this car, lightning red. If I wanted to put any effort into this video, I would edit a picture of it right about now, but I'm not gonna do that, so Google it. Lightning red, and I love the color. Before that, I used to have black vehicles. I love black, but they're a pain in the ass to keep clean, and they show all the scratches and everything. So I was looking into something else. I bought this car because it was the last one in the lot, the last 2015 they had. I took it home, I washed it, detailed it, waxed it, and I fell in love with the color. It pops. It's not a dark red, it's a bright red, and I love it so much that probably from now on all my cars will be red, so I can stay away from black but not have a gay white or gray car. So I love it that much. Number 2, the visibility. The first thing I noticed when I jumped in the car to test drive it, it was how big the front windshield is. You can see everything. You can see right under the hood. You feel like you can almost see the grill on this car if you tip forward a little bit. The side windows, the rear window, everything. You can see all around this car. It makes it feel like, I don't know, the car does not feel like a really small car, like a really small economy car, but the way you look out at it, it feels like a really small car. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but that's the thing I love. The second thing I love about this car, visibility. Number 3, yeah, I think it's number 3, right? Number 3 thing I like about this car is the seats. Oh, there's another thing I hate. Visor doesn't extend. Oh well, deal with it. Oh well. Where was I? Yeah, number 3, the seats. I love the seats. I'm a 5'6". I'm a shorty, tiny little man, and it feels like the seats were perfectly made for me. They hold me in place. I've gone on the snow and I've gone mudding on this car. They always hold me in place. They bolster you in a way that it's not uncomfortable. I took a 13-hour trip to Arizona in this car. Yeah, by the end of the trip, I needed to stretch. My tailbone was hurting a little bit, but it was nowhere near what I expected. I thought my back was gonna hurt, my lower back was gonna hurt, my ass was gonna hurt. No, it was, I got uncomfortable after so many hours, but like I said, it got uncomfortable in a way where the shape of the seats still felt like they were holding me in place and not being on the way of my comfort, more of this discomfort from such a long time behind the wheel. It's number 3. Number 4. What was number 4? Like I said, number 4 is the all-wheel drive system. This is my first car with all-wheel drive I ever owned, and I've had trucks with 4-wheel drive, but they're not all-wheel drive all the time. And I love how this feels. It's gonna be hard for me to go back to a rear-wheel drive car after this. First time I hit the corner hard. I was in a parking lot. Just testing it out, and I was amazed. I've never felt something like that where other cars you expect to have understeer or oversteer. This car, you can feel it. You can feel it pulling you with the front tires, like just clawing at the pavement with the front tires on the snow and on the mud. It amazed me how when you would start sliding, instead of hitting the brake to gain control, you hit the gas. If you hit the gas, you regain control of the car, while other cars you would go crash somewhere. And I love that about this car. Like, it's probably, if I had to rank them, that is the best thing about this car, the all-wheel drive system. If you've never owned an all-wheel drive car, you will love this. It's weird how when you're sliding on the snow or in the mud, and the car never makes you feel like you're dangerously out of control. It makes you feel like, yeah, you're out of control, but in a fun way. You're having fun. You're sliding, and the moment you want, you can snap that brake, you can change a gear or hit the gas, and you get control of it right away. So it's amazing. It's something you have to try. If you have this car and you never take it out in the snow or in the mud or dirt, whatever, somewhere or slippery surface, don't buy this car. Why would you? What, to mod it? Or get something else to mod, you know? Fifth thing I like about this car is the steering wheel. Also, it's the first for me. First car I had with a flat bottom steering wheel. And I love it. Not just that, it's a small little detail that when you first get on it, it throws you off when you start driving, like, whoa, what the hell is this? It just feels awkward. And then after a few hundred miles on it, you love it. You just love knowing it's there. The steering wheel is a perfect size for me. So you can grab it, the little bolsters right here, they're perfectly, for me, a combination of steering wheel and the seats, it's a perfect driving position. I feel I'm high enough to look at everything, but I don't feel high like in the truck or like on my Lexus I used to own, the IS350, where you felt high, like a high center of gravity. And you can set it up. Your feet are right at the pedals, exactly where you need them. And you're ready. You're just like you're ready to race. You're ready to lose grip. You're ready for anything. I love it. I love that about this car. Let me give you an extra bonus thing. What else do I love about this car? Let me think. Well, if you're wondering why I have my camera there, it's my phone. So I have a little cradle where I put my phone in the stereo. I don't know if you can see it right there, but it just sticks. My phone sticks there with a magnet, so I'm not gonna be holding on to it while I'm driving. Screw that. What else do I love about this car? Okay, so I remember the last thing, or maybe I should have just included this and it would have been done with it with the video, but how this car drives. I love how the car drives. Let me give you an example. Before I got this car, I was driving nothing but trucks for 3 years, I believe. And I was used to big trucks. I would get out my wife's car, a 2009 Mazda 3 base model. It had no power, but I loved driving that car. It felt so small and so nimble. Something you can't find much cars like that these days anymore. Everything's over 3,000 pounds, over 3,500 pounds is considered light now. So I would drive my wife's car and just toss it around a little bit, not too hard, but it felt light, and I wanted that. I started thinking I want that on a different car with more power. And when I drove this car, when I test drove it, and now that I own it, it's exactly, I can say almost exactly what I wanted. And you can toss it. It feels, the car from the interior does not feel small. It feels like a medium-sized car. You don't feel claustrophobic on it. It's just like the exterior of it feels small. I don't know if I'm explaining myself correctly, which I'm probably not, but the stupid sun, just goddamn sun. Just put my hand like this, all gangster, see if I can block the sun a little bit. So like I was saying, it feels small without feeling small in comfort. It feels small in performance. As in, you can turn it like that. You can toss it around. You can go side to side, and it gives you confidence on the turns. I was doing on my truck. I was this big swooping turn going to a town close to here, and on my truck I would do it 90 miles per hour, 95, and it felt, like you were pushing it. Of course, it's a truck. On my wife's car, it also felt a little weird. And this car feels like nothing. I've done it at 120 with one hand on the steering wheel, which I try not to because we all know it's dangerous. But I just tried it once just for the hell of it, and it feels like nothing. It feels like you're taking that turn on any other car doing 60. It's planted to the ground. It's great. The suspension on it is not too hard, but it's not soft. It's a perfect car from what I can remember. Maybe if I still had my 350Z, it wouldn't compare to that. But it's been so long since I had that car that now, over my recent history in car ownership, 10 minutes long. So I'm out of here. Take care. Love the car. Leave any comments you want. I don't feel hurt about them. So peace out, people.